I'm going to welcome everybody at once. Usually I welcome everybody in the room officially, and then I welcome everybody online, but we're going to sort of do both together tonight. So welcome. Would you mind? I've got mine. Still got music playing. We've been partying in here for the last hour, so I would say you didn't miss much, but you missed a little bit, but not too much. Maybe we need to go live next time and start the party with you guys at 5 o'clock so you can see. Welcome to our October full moon. I'm so excited. We have a really full house. If I spun it around, you'd see a really full house. In-person full house. Very excited online as well, and so I want to welcome everybody. So tonight's full moon is very special to me. It's special because this is my favorite month for magic. October just is magic. And hopefully you're feeling it already. You know, that shift happens October 1st for me. Like, we go from September 30th. In my world, that's back to school. Kids are in school. Kids' teachers haven't kicked them out of class. We're doing well. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten a lot of emails from teachers, so that's a parent thing. But then October 1st, it's like a switch goes off and we're back to magic, right? So, and part of what I love is it isn't just for us. Everybody believes in magic in October. All of a sudden, then November 1st, it clicks, and it's like, nope, no more magic. It's Thanksgiving, right? So it's turkeys and Christmas trees or whatever, but there's an energy about October where it's permissible to dabble and to play a little bit in the realm where the rest of us live. You know what I mean? Like, I have purple hair all year long. This is nothing new for me, but all of a sudden I'm hip and I don't look weird in Target. I actually, there was the sweetest lady last year I'll never forget. We had done a full moon ritual, and my family owns a chain of restaurants here in South Bay called Spires. And it's been around since the 50s, and it's like diner food, it's comfort food, and so we go there a lot. My kids love it. And so now it used to be my uncle and aunt, but now it's all my cousins own all of the restaurants. So I walked in. It's a very conservative, it's an older clientele in the restaurant. So I walk in, it came from full moon ritual, and I'm all on that ritual buzz, and this woman looks at me and she goes, "Honey, is that your Halloween costume?" It's so cute on you. Are you what are you? And I'm there with my husband and my kids, and my husband's like, "What are you?" Yeah, she's a sage goddess. Look at you, honey. You're so cute in your Halloween costume. Okay. Anyway, happy October, everybody. So tonight we are working with spirit guides, the ancestors, and higher self. And so I'm going to sit down in just a minute, but I just want to sort of stand up and say hi to everybody. I know it's too funny, right? It's just how it goes for all of us. But anyway, tonight's very special because there's some overlap, right? A lot of times people always ask me, aren't your ancestors spirit guides? Isn't there, it's like a Venn diagram, right? Like, are some ancestors spirit guides? Are some spirit guides ancestors? What is the higher self? So tonight I'm going to try to decode some of that mystery for you. And I'm also going to teach you about a symbol called the Hunab Ku, which is very important to me. Raise your hand if you're familiar with Hunab Ku from the Mayan calendar, which is really where a lot of us know it from. Okay, I'm wearing the Hunab Ku. You may have seen me wear this before. It's a symbol that I work with all the time, and I'm going to teach it to you tonight so that you can start working with it too. And it's actually a doorway. This is the Hunab Ku. Have you seen this before? Those of you who are familiar with it? Sometimes it's called the galactic butterfly. Have you heard about it that way? I like galactic butterflies. I like galactic anything. I'm going to read you a little bit from a book. I love to read to people. If you're not in my classes, you probably don't know that, but I read to my students all the time. I'm a voracious reader. I'm always reading anywhere between 8 and 12 books. Wow. I don't read books the way normal people read them, like from the first page to the last page. I can't do that. I have a little bit of an attention deficit disorder. So I kind of hop around books. You know what I mean? Like, I go to the table of contents and I just intuitively choose chapters. I let my guides sort of direct me. So I don't know that I finish books, but I read a lot of books. And so this particular book is about sacred symbols. So I'll tell you all about it if you're interested. But you don't have to even have it, because I'm going to read to you tonight about the Hunab Ku. So, because a lot of people say, I love knowing about spirit guides. I love knowing about ancestor spirits. How do I work with them? How do I connect with them? So tonight we're going to be doing a variation on what my students have been doing with me for 6 years, which is called Elder Council. How many of you have been through Elder Council with me in Magical Sabbatical? A few of you have. Okay. So I do Elder Council with my Magical Sabbatical students once every quarter. And it's not unlike what we're doing tonight, which is basically going into, I'm going to drum for you tonight. I know, I'm so excited to drum for you tonight with my peacock drum. This was handmade for me by a beautiful artist in England, and I'm so excited because I haven't used her ritually yet. This is a new drum. So I'm breaking her in tonight on this very important occasion of the blood moon. But I'm going to be taking you to a space where you will connect with spirit guides, ancestors, and others too. Ascended masters may come to join you in this meditation tonight. And so I didn't make a candle for everybody, but here's the thing. I think of ascended masters as also spirit guides, in a way. The ascended masters don't always make themselves accessible to you. They don't have to. And we're going to talk about the fact that your spirit guides and some of your ascended masters are pure spirit, in the sense that some of your guides and ascended masters in particular, ascended masters usually have had human incarnation, but the spirit guides often either have not had human incarnation or they are finished with their human incarnation and are now pure spirit. Does that make sense to you? And so sometimes in meditation they don't show up in a form that looks human. And some people say, well, I didn't see anything. To which I say, why would you see anything? What are you looking for? You know? Or they'll say, I saw this thing and it was half donkey, half bird, but then it had a tail and it had human eyes. To which I say, you're having a human experience in this lifetime where there are animals in zoos that are all animal and where people don't have tails. Let me just tell you, when you cross one day, get ready for some fun. Because on the other side, it doesn't quite look like this in my experience. You have, and think about the Egyptian pantheon. How many gods and goddesses, right, are part animal, part human, right? And so these hybrid creatures or these invisible beings, when you ascend to pure spirit, you don't have a human form anymore. And so in meditation, that can feel like there's an essence there without you being able to see anything. So I just want you, I'm telling you this as a preamble because I want you to open your mind tonight. When you go into exercises like we're going to do tonight with expectations, like that you're going to see people and someone named Joe will show up for you, and you know what I mean? That's not, you may not have that experience at all. So kind of let go of your human mind for a minute. I will tell you, the more I do this work, I'm 44 now, I've been doing this work since I was a very young teenager, so the better part of 30 years. What I know today of magic and ritual is the box without a lid. Every time I think I know how things are, especially in the spirit world, I get that whole thing turned 180 degrees and I get shown like, you don't know anything. And so I'm here to tell you, I don't know much, even though I know a lot. I don't know much. And that's why when people say, well, I know how it is, I know everything about after death, I know, and I'm always like, oh, please teach me. Tell me all about that. Because in my experience, spiritual work is humbling. If you profess to know, what happens? Like the universe sets out to teach you. The universe sets out to regulate. Okay, so what I'm sharing with you tonight from a really humble, sincere place is what I know today. Okay? Like what I'm sharing with you tonight is what I know based on the time I've been alive, the time I've been doing this work, and what I have seen in shamanic journey and ritual and plant medicine work that I have done. And so I have crossed the veil. I have seen the other side. I have had a near-death experience where I was forced to come back. I didn't want to, but I was forced to come back because I wasn't finished yet. And so it was actually a very interesting experience because I said, please, please, please don't bring me back unless my children need me. And in that instant, I heard all the equipment clear, moving, getting the sensor back on my finger and, getting me back. In that instant I literally said, please don't make me come back unless my children need me. Clear, back, right? So that was a pretty clear sign, and that wasn't that long ago. That was about 3.5 years ago now.
Thank you for coming back.
Thank you. I came back. I was resistant. I mean, because here's the thing, when you cross, it's so good, okay, that you're sort of like, okay. I mean, even though you have all these people that you love and all this work that you think is, I mean, all this stuff where you're like, no, I'm not ready, all this stuff. As soon as you're in that moment, you're like, I'm good, bye. You know, and then it was like, okay, but I'm not done. And so here we are. So I know I have a little bit of work left to do. But what I will tell you is everything I'm sharing with you tonight is based on what I have seen as I left the planet, what I have seen as I have crossed the veil multiple times through lots of different plant sacrament journeys and other things. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I'm not afraid anymore because I know where I'm going.
Wow.
And it's quite magnificent. And it also gives me the chance to, I've also been able to shaman others through that portal with less fear, maybe, because I've been able to have that conversation about how beautiful it is, what is there. Yeah, it's beautiful, you guys. And that's why you hear people who cross. It's an interesting conversation to have around Samhain time, right? Because this is the season of death, right? But you hear all those stories of people who, as they cross, and all of a sudden their grandfather, who never smiled, all of a sudden full smile on the face, tears down. Why do you think that's happening? It's because in that moment, and it happened to me, everyone that you are looking forward to seeing is so eager to see you too. They're so ready to see you, and it's been so hard for you to be human. You've had your heart broken, and you've had bones broken, and you've had all this stuff happen to you, and on the other side it's just that won't happen to you anymore, you know. And so there's this moment of like, okay, if my kids need me, you know, it's like that thing. So anyway, I'm sharing all that with you because that is the place from which your spirit guides come to you and wrap their arms around you and want you to know that these problems that you're facing in this life, while they seem really huge to you, and they are sometimes. I mean, they are. I'm not downplaying what's happening to you. But I am saying when they wrap their arms around you and tell you everything will be okay, they're speaking to you from the most incredible place of truth, because it's time limited. Whatever you're going through right now is ephemeral. It is passing. It's already passing. And there is a time when you will return and they will rejoice in seeing you again. And you won't have to say, if I have to come back, that's okay. Because they'll say, no, we're ready. We're ready, and it's been a long time, and we're ready. We're ready for you. So good, right? It's good stuff, you guys. What we do is very real. And it's nice sometimes to have the affirmation. It really is good stuff to have the affirmation. This is real. It's as real as you watching me and me seeing you. It's real, real, real. So just smudging a little bit. Not that I haven't smudged already 86 times today, but we're going to do it one more time because the full moon in Aries. The moon is uncomfortable in Aries. Let's just be honest. She doesn't like it here. Aries is right all the time. And honestly, Aries is right. I'm raising one. He's right. Now he's 10 and he looks at me and he's like, and you know I'm right. And he is right. You know, and he's like, my Aries will say, I'll say, you know, that person lives on, you know, Smith Street. And he'll say, nope, they live on Jones Street. I'll say, nope, they live on Smith Street. And my husband will say, don't do it. He's right. But I'm a Leo, and I'm not going down like that. So it's just like, nope. And then I'll look it up, and I'll just be like, fine. Anyway, that's Aries. So all day long, it's been like, nope, I'm right. Nope, I'm right. And so I've heard people in the room say customers were jerks today to them, you know, like yelling at them or screaming at them or whatever, because it's Aries, right? I'm right, and you're going to hear how right I am. And so the best thing you can do right now with this energy until the moon transits to a slightly better sign, not much better, but a little bit better. A little bit, sorry. That it's a lovely sign. The moon as a water planet is not comfy. She also doesn't enjoy Leo, and she could also live without Sagittarius. Let's be honest. I mean, she doesn't really need all of us, right? So anyway. Listen, Aries, I know you're right. I know you're always right. I honor your rightness. Woo. My incense burner is hot. Hang on. So I'm going to put just a little bit of the herbs for tonight, spirit guides, on my charcoal, just to release a little bit of the energy of the herbs in your tin tonight, and the higher self herbs, if you have your herbs. If you don't, you're going to be able to smell them in the room. That's one of the primary ways I use my herbs and resins, is as incense. And then I have my ceremonial incense that I'm going to add just a little bit too, for good measure. My team is so sweet. They always give me a brand new fresh one for ritual, and it's like I kind of like used stuff. I feel bad having to open a new package, but there it is. Okay, beautiful. So hopefully that won't overwhelm those of you who are in the room. Okay, so we're going to be working with our higher self, spirit guides, and ancestors candles. Let me know if that becomes overwhelming, and we will move that for you, especially those of you in the front. And we're working with our 3 perfumes. Let me tell you which stones you need for which, because I'm going to do a meditation where you're going to encounter all 3. But I won't be telling you pick up your stone. So I just want you to know what stones I'm working with for each one, and then you choose yours, okay? And you can switch them as we move from energy to energy. And I'll explain that in a minute. So for the higher self, we're working with blue onyx and fluorite, right? Because your higher self actually is related, the concept of the higher self is related to the Holy Ghost in the Christian tradition, okay? It's the God within you. The concept of the higher self is there's God above you, God within you, God below you, okay? And that the higher self is sort of, it's the part of you that speaks to you from the place of deepest knowing. Does that make sense? It's almost like the part of you that knows the end of the story. It's like the part of you that really understands the full dynamics. Sometimes I will dialogue with my higher self, and I hope it doesn't make me seem crazy, but when I'm just sort of like, I will dialogue and say, I can only see one side of this situation. I'm still human, and my ego is activated, and so higher self, can you show me the other sides? You know what I mean? Like, help me see where my blind spots are. That's what the higher self can offer you. With the ancestors, yours didn't come with stones, but I'll tell you what I'm using. I'm working with petrified wood and apophyllite. Apophyllite is one of the most powerful stones for spirit contact, okay? This is one of the ones we had in the shop not too long ago, like the tips that I had for you. If you're in GemWise, you already have apophyllite too. And then petrified wood is petrified wood. It has wood that, what happens is over time, wood is wet, right? And so as it ages, as it petrifies, all of the organic material, including the water, leaves. And what happens is quartz veins develop and agate veins develop where there was water. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so the wood actually does become stone. It agatizes and becomes quartz filled. And so in your petrified wood, a lot of times you'll see there's a petrified wood sphere on the floor somewhere here, and it has a huge quartz vein all the way around it, and that's where water was when that tree began to petrify. Isn't that beautiful? So that's that. And then for higher self, for spirit guides, we're working with petalite for protection, because that's what your spirit guides do for you. This is a very gentle protection stone, petalite. It actually grows with kunzite and tourmaline and kyanite, petalite does. And then we're working with labradorite, because one of the things the spirit guides do for us is clarify what we need to begin or what we need to create. That's what the spirit guides come with, a deep inspiration for all of us. So those are the stones. If there's other stones that you want to substitute, you're welcome to do that. And then I'm going to say I have 2 giveaways at the end of tonight's class. One for in-person and one for online. And I chose these because we're doing crown chakra work tonight. I have a gorgeous aura quartz cluster. How beautiful is that? Isn't that wonderful? It's a Lemurian aura quartz cluster, and the main termination is a twin. Wow. It's the only one like that I've ever seen. And then I have even more rare and much more prized. I don't know the value of this. This is Natrolite in Matrix, which is one of the Synergy 12. It's one of the rarest of the Synergy 12. It is one of the most profound central nervous system healers on the planet. It's also one of the rarest minerals we've ever had at Sage Goddess. So the fact that I have a cluster of Natrolite for you is kind of absolutely unheard of. And so I'll decide at the end of the ritual tonight which one goes in person and which one goes online, and I will announce the winners. Very excited about that. Got good stuff for you tonight. Okay. Any questions before we begin? Natrolite is the stone. Natrolite. It's a member of the zeolite family, and it's also a member of the Synergy 12, which, if you know Robert Simmons or the Book of Stones, if you don't know what the Synergy 12 is, go down that rabbit hole. Not right now, but later tonight, after everybody goes to sleep, go down that rabbit hole. It's kind of fun. They're super rare stones, and the vibration is really pure and beautiful. So excited for you guys. Okay, lots of magic tonight. Big magic. Okay. So, the other thing I want to tell you is we're having a sale tonight at Sage Goddess that ends at midnight with code VEIL. It's 18% off. So if you haven't gotten your November full moon tools yet. Tonight is the night because that sale code ends at midnight tonight. Okay. I want to begin by teaching you the symbol that we're going to work with tonight, and it is the Hunab Ku. It is this symbol right here. And you know how this works for me is in my practice, I get shown a symbol. And I was shown this symbol about, I would say, 2 or 3 years ago now. And there's a long story that I don't have time to tell you about tonight, but I had the opportunity to purchase 2 pieces actually of amber that are carved with the Hunab Ku, one that I wear and one that's at home in my collection. I was accidentally introduced to this symbol. I was not looking for it. The person who introduced me to it did not know what it was. That's how you know it's really magic. When they're like, here's a symbol. I don't know what it is, but I think you should look into it. Oh, yeah. Okay. The Hunab Ku, we actually don't know that much about some of these symbols. I'm convinced. I think we end up telling the story later. The Hunab Ku is actually at the center of the Mayan calendar, which is where a lot of people recognize it from. It's also known as the galactic butterfly. What Hunab Ku means is one God. One God. Okay, I'm going to read you just a little bit from this beautiful book. I want you to close your eyes and just take it in, and then we'll open the circle, and I'll show you how to work with the Hunab Ku in our meditation tonight. This is the chapter on the Hunab Ku. This book, by the way, is written by Karen Spearstra and Joel Spearstra, and it's called Hunab Ku, 77 Sacred Symbols for Balancing Body and Spirit. And it's rad. I like it. Okay. The Maya who lived in the Yucatan Peninsula of tropical Mexico abandoned their pyramids and their cities around 830 Common Era, after a half millennium of enjoying a very advanced civilization. Experts still struggle to decipher their pictogrammic writing and their intricate calendars. The glyph pictured here, the Hunab Ku, the core sign of their sacred calendars or wheels of time, is an essential clue to understanding the Mayan sciences and myths. Literally, it translates as one giver of movement, or one source of limits and energy. The Hunab Ku depicts movement and energy, the principle of life itself, in a balanced design reminiscent of the Eastern yin-yang symbol. It is the galactic core found at the center of the Mayan wheeled calendars, and it was thought to be the essence that coordinates the star systems. The Hunab Ku is also the Hopi Sipapu, a tunnel or passage linking different worlds. It is a stargate. Jose Argelis describes the Hunab Ku, the principle of life beyond the sun, this way. The Hunab Ku may be described as possessing a simultaneous spin and counterspin motion radiating outward from a center point of indescribable energy that pulses at a high rate. It is the very principle of life and all-pervading consciousness, immanent in all phenomena. In Tantric Yoga, Shakti sleeps near the base of your spine, and when she's awakened, she travels up to be united with Shiva at the top of your skull. The two are made one. Yin and Yang combine in a sacred marriage of male and female, body and spirit, conscious and unconscious. When you enter the Hunab Ku, you feel the same awareness of wholeness. The ancient Egyptian teacher Hermes explained the symmetry as above, so below. It's all connected, you guys. We long for real relationships, don't we? For unity. But as, and then it goes on to give a name, said in 1994, we find ourselves in a paradoxical situation. There appears to be no integrating force, no unified meaning, no true understanding of the phenomena in our experience of the world. The abyss between the rational and the spiritual, the external and the internal, the objective and the subjective, the technical and the moral, the universal and the unique constantly grows deeper. The archetype of the Hunab Ku is this abyss. Each side of the Hunab Ku contains the seed and the essence of the other side. There are no rigid lines. Rather, each side curves like a lever into the other. This is the way of all loving relationships. Without one, the other is incomplete. Love is the doorway to passion and compassion. When you are in love, you know how all animate and even inanimate beings are connected. Isn't that true? When you're in love, you don't look at people and say, oh, you're like, oh, I understand. I understand everything. I understand that we're all related, right? Plato called Eros the desire and pursuit of the whole. John, one of the 4 authors of the Gospels, said, let us love one another, for love is of God, and he who loves is born of God and knows God, for God is love. Only through love can opposites be transcended. The Maya used an expression for this love. They called it lakech. Literally translated, it means, I am another you. Isn't that beautiful? Hunab Ku then represents the joining of opposites, your masculine, left, exploring, experimenting, discovering, radiating, thrusting, analytical side effortlessly combines with your feminine, right, containing, intuitive, receiving, consolidating, processing, feeling, playing, cooperative side. And this all happens at your center. The Mayan word for center is Yaxkin. Yax, or green, means the center of the cosmos where the tree of life grows, green and balanced. Hunab means one state of being, and Ku means God. When you look at the Hunab Ku image, you know you are one with God, with the ultimate essence, the source of all. You know that this is within your heart chakra right now, the place within your chest where prana, or the life force, resides, where your breath, your mind, your spirits, and your bodies are joined. And so I'll close with this Navajo prayer that they say is related to the Hunab Ku. You can just close your eyes and just let the words melt into you for a moment. May it be loving before us. May it be loving behind us. May it be loving above us. May it be loving below us. May it be loving all around us. And in loving, it is begun. In loving, it is begun. Aho. Aho. To that. Okay, so we're going to work with the Hunab Ku tonight. I'm going to open our circle. But that is going to be our entry point into this beautiful meditation this evening. Look at this art rendering of the Hunab Ku. I just want to show you this. Isn't that beautiful? You know, like, isn't it amazing how an artist can take this and create that? Isn't that gorgeous? Are you guys moved by the symbol? Do you feel the energy of it? It's quite powerful, isn't it? I'm really grateful to be able to introduce you to that tonight. So just roll your shoulders back. Bring your attention to your breath. I'm going to open a beautiful circle for our work to take place in this evening. So grateful for your presence. Thank you for being here for this with us. I want you to put your hands on your knees with your palms facing out. This is a nice receptive position. I want you to imagine that out of your left hand extends a beautiful white beam of light, about 4 to 6 inches in diameter. And I want you to give that beam of light a texture and a temperature so you can really connect to it and feel it in your hand. I want you to imagine that light leaving your left hand, traveling clockwise away from you around the circle. It'll enter the right hand of the person who's seated next to you, virtually or literally in the circle. It'll move up through their arm, over their shoulder, into their energy centers, down their left shoulder and arm, and out of their left hand. And in that way, the white circle of light that connects us will move clockwise, connecting all of us across space and time, across land masses and oceans. We have people, as you know, joining us for full moon ritual from almost every continent in the world. And so whatever time zone you're in, wherever you are, we're grateful that you're with us tonight. And that energy will come back to you in your right hand. And you'll know when it does. Both of your hands will feel nice and warm. And you might just send, everything you send around the circle comes back to you. So I like to send love. You can imagine sending the word love through that tube of white light. I like to send acceptance and peace and appreciation. You can send laughter. You can send magic. Any high vibration emotion. It's all going to come back to you in that right hand. So beautiful. And I think all of us, including our planet right now, can use extra healing. So if you have a little extra healing energy to send, we would all appreciate it tonight. And then just keep your eyes closed as I call to the directions. This evening, I call to the spirits and guides of each person in this circle. Come closer to us. Encircle and surround us with love, protection, wisdom, and connection this evening as we gather to celebrate the fullness of the moon, an event we will witness no more than 1,000 times in this lifetime with these eyes. May it never lose its magic for us or our kind. And to the gatekeepers of the four directions, thank you for turning your gaze toward us this evening. We honor your sacred presence, and we thank you for your guardianship. I call first to the direction of east. This is element of air, quicksilver, invisible winds, and you, if you're Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. I call to you, air, to light and dawn, the rising of the sun above mountain tops. I invoke air and movement in my life, exquisite flow of energy. Teach us tonight, air, to move with ease, to be both within and without, above and below, not bound by our circumstances, our fears, or our failures, because we rise. And all around us, as the winds shift and move, we learn the power of graceful allowance. Isn't that true? We honor our breath, we honor the life force within us. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of air, we see you, we summon you, and you are here, holding the eastern gateway with us tonight. I next call to the direction of south, element of fire, candle flame, wildfire, and you, if you are Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I call to you, fire, to dry heat and desert winds, the sacred lands of our ancestors, the wild sagebrush and native herbs that grow wild and free, and wildfires that burn untamed, like the passion of lovers who know the power of one touch on bare skin between souls, with lifetimes of connection. Teach us, fire, to kindle our flame, to burn bright and burn long. Let us not be bound by convention, by boundaries, by rules. We burn, and all around us as the flames grow, we learn the power of fearless expansion. We honor the fire within. We honor the courage of the wild spirit. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of fire, we see you, we summon you, and you are here holding the southern gateway with us tonight. I next call to the direction of west, element of water, raging rivers, deepest oceans, and you, if you are Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I call to you, water, to the waves that rise above me and the depths that could crush me. You compose me, water, and I am you. The rivers and oceans that expand and connect us tonight are mothers to us, their children. Teach us, water, to move with the tides and to swim gracefully against those tides when we need to. Let us not be bound by a desire to seek land or shelter, but let us be afloat in deep trust. Because we do float, we swim. And all around us, as the waves rise, we learn the power of intuition. We see that our entire being knows how to surrender when it must. We know how to cry when the release is needed, and we honor our deepest emotions tonight. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of water, we see you, we summon you, you are here, holding the western gateway this evening. I finally call to the direction of north, element of earth, Mother Gaia, continents, oceans moving in their silent and sacred dance, and this is you if you're Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. I call to you, earth, to your trees, your wilderness, your animals, your creatures of all kinds, expanses, uncharted spaces, wild places, where all of the elements find their home. All these places where we have lived and died, and we have lived again. Our ancestors, their bones, return to you. Our own bones, one day, will rest with theirs. Dust and life and death and growth, you hold us all. Teach us, earth, to hold the expanse of our feelings and our work in this life with grace and with your depth. Let us not be bound by a fear of our own strength, but let us trust that we can hold it all, and that we have roots as deep and as far as yours run, centuries old and miles long. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of earth, we see you, we summon you, and you are here holding the northern gateway tonight. And my wish for you, my sweet friends, I'm so grateful for you, always, but especially tonight, is that the delicate and precious balance of these four elements will make itself known to you tonight and always. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. And cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I want to say this about your tools. If you have the kit for tonight's ritual, in my opinion, by the way, it's gone because bees are having a difficult time right now, and it's getting harder and harder to get beeswax, and our colors are custom dyed for us, and so we're trying to figure out how to bring this set back because it's sold out and we don't have any more right now. If you got this set, let me ever brought you, because they're not bound by any ritual or anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be any particular occasion. You can just say, you know what? I really want to feel my ancestors around me right now. Do you ever feel like that? Like, I just want to feel them. I'm going to open a container. I'm going to open a circle. I'm going to light my ancestors' candle. And I'm going to call them in. Or, spirit guides or higher self, I need wisdom. You know? Like, show me. Because think of problems in your life as a wheel, right? You can only see one slice. But your higher self has the whole vision, right? So anytime you need these energies, call upon them because they are present for you. So I have all three of mine on a plate. What I'm going to do is light all three because we're going to go into a meditation and we're going to invite them all to come forward. Who comes and when they come, I want you to release that. Because they may all come and it may just be a higher self that presents itself to you tonight. And I want you to be okay with who arrives. So all of my candles are lit. I'm going to be working specifically with petrified wood, fluorite tonight, and petalite. Those are the three that I'm taking in. I want you to use your intuition and your judgment when you're choosing. And then I'm going to anoint. So first I'm going to anoint with Spirit Guide perfume. The way I anoint is a little bit at my wrist, just a touch at my third eye, and a touch at my ankles for what I know, what I do, where I go. Okay? Same thing with higher self and same thing with ancestors. I've got ancestors here. And by the way, I designed them so that they smell beautiful together because I was hoping you would wear them together. If you haven't smelled them together yet, you're in for a surprise. That's beautiful. In a way, ironically, I would say that higher self is more middle notes, ancestors is more base notes, and spirit guides is more top notes. So they're designed to partner with each other. And I'll be honest, the higher self is my favorite. I try not to choose favorites because they're like my kids, but I really do like higher self best. Okay. Okay, 3 deep inhales of your oils. Your olfactory bulb in your brain is part of the limbic system, which is the oldest part of your brain. And it's the part of your brain that doesn't have access to language. Isn't it interesting? So there's no way to describe scent. I mean, you'll try, but you can't describe it because it's part of the oldest part of your brain. But man, you know it, don't you? When you smell something that smelled like your grandmother, what happens? The memories, all of a sudden you can taste the food and see, like all of a sudden, but you can't describe it. And that's because that olfactory bulb is sitting in that old part of your brain. The newer parts of your brain are really adept at language, but they're not as much fun. They're boring. I like the old things in general. People, parts of my brain. I like everything old. Okay, here we go. So I want you to return to that receptive position. Hands on your knees, palms facing up. This means you're ready. When I was a teacher, I used to say, ready to learn? This is ready to receive. I guess you're both tonight in a way. So I want you to imagine, if you want to work with the Hunab Ku, I'm going to show it to you one more time. I want you to try to pull this image up in your third eye, meaning look at it with your seeing eyes, and then close your seeing eyes and see if you can see it with your knowing eye. Okay? So memorize the pattern, right? It's half black, half white, right? But at an angle. Okay, so right, half and half, but it's not split down the center. Yeah? If you want to work with it. And then there are these tendrils that come out and they're curved. And then there's a central sort of spiral in the center, which is very common, right? The Fibonacci sequence and a lot of things the Nautilus is very sacred and it's at the center of this. So I want you to try seeing it with your seeing eyes. Rain wants to see Rain's in South Africa right now, so whatever she wants, she gets. And she wants to see that. I don't know, I think it's 2 a.m. where you are, or something, some god-awful hour. So whatever you want, you get, Rain. And here it is. So here's the artistic version. Yeah, let me do that. Can you guys see it okay? Look at it with your seeing eyes, and then close your seeing eyes and look at it with your knowing eye. Yeah? 3:30 a.m. South Africa time. I want you to really, if you love the Hunab Ku, I want you to start working with it. And how do you work with it? Pull it up on your screen. That's what I call the third eye. Close your seeing eyes. Pull it up with your knowing eye, almost like a screen in front of you. Try to project that image out. This is a doorway. And so what I want you to imagine is crossing through it. When I go into the Hunab Ku, I cross right at the center point. Okay, right here in the center is where I go through. So imagine it like a door. Some people imagine pushing through it or opening it. I imagine just crossing through it. So I want you to take this first step, call it that Hunab Ku image, and if you're able, I'd like you to try and move through the image. And you can call upon your guides for help with this. Spirit guides, ancestors, we are calling to you tonight. Higher self, be with us. And if we're meant to work with this portal to other dimensions, the stargate of the Hunab Ku, allow us to pass through it this evening as a way station between our conscious mind in this moment and our spirit mind, our expansive self, our multidimensional self. Help us to cross from this 3D moment that we're in right now in our physical bodies. Help us to cross to 4 and 5 and 6D now through that Hunab Ku, pushing past that portal to the other dimensions where we can encounter you. And once you cross or push through the Hunab Ku, I want you to imagine that before you, once you're through that portal, I want you to imagine that before you stands the most incredible ancient temple. And you might find that temple in ancient Mexico, or you might find that the temple that you're standing before is in ancient Egypt, or you might find that you're standing before the Parthenon in Greece. And I want you to find yourself standing before an ancient temple space, one that speaks to your soul. I want you to see the ancient columns, see the ancient steps before you. It might be lit, there might be torches lit where you are. Beautiful moss growing down the sides of the walls of the temple. It might be ruins, or it might be a living temple, something that is active right now. You're crossing through a time-space continuum, so you might be going to what is now a series of ruins, but you might be seeing it as a living, breathing, modern temple in your own time. So as we step through that Hunab Ku, we're no longer in this moment. We're outside of time. And as you approach this beautiful temple space and begin to ascend that staircase, you can almost feel the ripple of energy move through your body, can't you? This sense of anticipation. And yet you know that your spirit guides, your higher self, your ancestors are here waiting for you. You're entering a space where you are so welcomed and so known. The beings who are coming to meet you right now have known you for thousands of years. And so, higher self, we're calling upon you tonight to show us all facets of our lives. Show us all facets of the challenges that we're experiencing right now. As humans and mortals, we can often only see one part of where we are. Show us the bigger picture. Ancestors, show us where we are on our path right now, and show us the path to beauty. Show us the path to fulfillment of our soul's purpose in this lifetime. Show us the path to healing the karma from your lines. Show us the path to evolving and ascending so that we can create healing in our own lives and for generations forward. Spirit guides, we ask that you connect with us tonight to protect us, to bless us, to bring us messages. We ask that you come forward to teach us and to reveal to us the wisdom and the knowledge that we need to do the sacred work that our soul is called to do in this life. We ask you for strength tonight. And we call upon all of you this evening as we enter this sacred temple space. Show us the symbols. Show us the words. Give us the tools. Show us the teachers. Who should we be working with? Show us the people in our lives that we need to be closer to. Show us how to heal our family dynamics tonight. And for those of you who are in this meditation right now or watching later, I want you to think of a central guiding question that you're going to bring into the temple this evening. What is at the core of your concern right now? If there was one question you could get an answer to tonight that would change your life in the sense of bringing healing or peace to you, what would it be? And I just want you to think of that and hold that question. I love that. Jas in the feed says, I'm in Guam and my temple is in a jungle. I love that. You could be anywhere in the world right now in that beautiful temple. Although I'm able to connect with that jungle image, it's so beautiful. What is that core question for you? And so, as you move and make your way into the temple, I want you to know there's a grand table in front of you. And I want you to take a seat at this incredible table. And spirit guides, higher self, ancestors who have crossed in the light, we want you to gather now around this table with us. And as I drum for the next few minutes, I want you to feel the connection. And you're welcome to look around that table and see if you notice any familiar faces. Sometimes the ancestors will be familiar, but the spirit guides might be invisible. And so just notice who's there. Sometimes animal spirit guides will come. Jaguar always comes for me. Crow always comes for me when we do counsel like this. And so are any of your spirit guides coming forward, your animal spirit guides coming forward to see you? And if you're sensing any fear or resistance or anxiety, just remind yourself this is a space that you have been invited to with some intention and not just by me. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, your higher self know that you are in this moment right now and they have wisdom to share with you. So soften and relax and let them come. Let them come and let them show you. So hold that central question in your mind as I drum, and just soften to receive. Just let yourself see what you will see. Let yourself hear what you will hear. Let yourself feel what you will feel. heartbeat. This is what separates you from those spirit guides. It's your life force. So beautiful. Just stay where you are in that space. And if the drum moves you, it's because it's not an unfamiliar sound to you. It's an ancient sound that connects us all across space and time. And thank you for the compliments on the drum, by the way. I will post a link to that artist's page on our event page later. I don't want to distract us now, but she's quite lovely, so thank you for that. Spirit guides, ancestors, higher self, we thank you for gathering with us this evening. We thank you for making yourselves available to us, to teach us, to show us, to guide us, to give us the symbols and the wisdom. Take one last moment to ask for clarification. If there's anything that you were shown that wasn't clear to you, ask now to clarify. If there's any part of your question that went unanswered, that's okay. One of the beautiful things I love to do in journeys like this is give the higher self and give the guides and give the ancestors permission to come back to you tonight in dream time. They will come back to you. And in fact, you can, because this is recorded, you can come back and do this exact meditation again if you'd like. We'll always be here for you. And so if you'd like to invite them to come and be with you in dream time tonight, just welcome them. Tell them that you will create space this evening to reconnect, to reconvene, and to continue this conversation and this dialogue in this space outside of space and this time outside of time. And take just a moment before we close to really receive what it feels like to be in the presence of beings who know you and love you in a way that maybe no one alive today even does. These are beings who've known you much longer than anyone in your family, any of your friends. This is a different circle. And so I like to just take a moment at the end and just gaze around the circle and just notice who came for me and just thank them all sort of quietly, even the ones I can't see, because there's always beings I can't see. Those are my favorite beings, by the way. The highest, most ascended beings are not visible to your eyes, nor should they be. They vibrate at a frequency where there is no matter. Does that make sense to you? There is no matter. So if you're looking for a human body, you're going to keep looking for a long time. They're vibrating. The only reason you can see me is that my vibration has slowed. This is quantum mechanics, by the way. This is Einstein. This isn't Athena, right? Like, the only reason you can see me on the screen right now and I can touch this computer is because my frequency has slowed so much that I have taken form. But when I die, my frequency will speed to a point where I no longer have form. And so just know that when you're looking for spirit guides and expect them to have a human face and me wearing a blazer, they're at a different frequency. They're not able to come and show up for you like that, and it's okay. Just giving one more gesture of gratitude, giving permission to come and be with you in another space and time. So guardians, higher self, spirit guides, ascended masters, teachers, angelic beings, Great Spirit, the goddesses and gods who inhabit these spaces, the priestesses who presided over these ancient temples. You may have been one of them. We give thanks for your presence this evening. We release you with so much gratitude to return to your realms. Help to bless us and guide us so that we can walk a good path. Help to support us when this work becomes almost too much. Thank you for seeing us. Thank you for showing us mercy as we make our human mistakes. Thank you for holding compassion for us as we find ourselves in such human emotions as anger and resentment and frustration. Thank you for loving us anyway, even when we are unkind to each other, even though we're all related and truly are as close to each other as blood, even when we can't find a way to be kind to each other. Thank you for holding us in a space of compassion. Thank you for holding our planet. Please heal her. Please bless those places on our planet right now that are in pain and in conflict. Please help guide us toward a path that will keep us intact. Please help to send us the messages that we can transmit to each other, to heal, to hold steady, to create beauty. And so it is. So it has always been. So it shall always be. And when you are ready, you may rise from that beautiful table that you have been seated at. It's hard to leave. It can be very hard to leave. But you're coming back with some wisdom, as healers do. You know, I mean, that's when, in the shamanic traditions, you know, when the shaman leaves the tribe and goes and does his or her sacred work, the goal is to come back with wisdom for the tribe. And that's what you're doing. You're leaving and you're going to this place, and you're coming back with wisdom for your tribe. You've done good work tonight. And when you're ready and you've taken a moment, risen from your seat, you can turn and begin to descend those stairs that you climbed. My animal spirit guides are still there. Everybody else vacated the premises, but I still have a nice jaguar and a little snake that I'm noticing, and maybe a scorpion. So if you have animal spirit friends who are still with you, that's okay. Maybe they're meant to guide you back across the threshold, across that Hunab Ku. And as you descend those stairs and walk forward, I want you to notice almost like a hologram in front of you, that Hunab Ku again, yeah? If it's showing itself to you, it's showing itself because it wants you to cross it one more time. This is a threshold. So when you are ready, move through that symbol one more time. And then you'll start to train yourself to use that symbol as a portal, as a stargate, to move from this dimension backward and forward. It'll become very easy for you, actually. And in this way, a lot of people use symbols in this way for astral travel, and for really advanced spiritual work, because it becomes this doorway that you can move through at any time. You can do readings for clients. You can hop through the Hunab Ku, gather information, do a reading, come back. So you can journey for other people in this way too, as a healer. Always with permission, of course. Beautiful, beautiful. So everybody's seeing crows and snakes. Crow is, we are in the season of fall right now, which is direction of west on the medicine wheel, and so a lot of the western animals come up for us right now, which is crow. A lot of times whale is in the west, dolphins in the west a lot of times, and the deep sea creatures, squid is in the west. The animals that will take you all the way down to the bottom of the ocean to show you the deepest mystery and the fullest darkness, all of those creatures come forward. And so don't be surprised when the creatures of the West come to you in a journey like this. It's very common. It's beautiful. And just calling yourself back into present time now, once you've crossed through that stargate, that Hunab Ku portal, just starting to wiggle fingers and toes, turning your head from side to side if you haven't already, and when you feel fully present, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. It can become very easy. Hop, 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 hop. Jumping over, coming back. Jumping over. I have a question. I'm going to jump through, get my question answered, come back. How'd you guys feel? How many of you in the room worked with the Hunab Ku as a doorway to come through? Interesting. So it's about half in the room. Curious to know online too whether you found that portal interesting to work with. Very interesting, right? Yeah, Vanessa says I didn't want to leave. Girl, a lot of us don't. The only consolation we have is that one day we won't have to. That's the only door prize that we get when we go through these things. Yeah, which probably sounds crazy, but it's very true. Okay, so I am going to extinguish my candles. And by the way, this is how mine will stay. And so I'm just giving you a little idea of how to work with your tools after tonight. Put them together. What I've done is I like to light the bottom of the candle. Have you done that? The wick comes through the bottom. If you light it and drip the wax and then stick your candle on it, this won't move. Have you tried that? So it's actually a really interesting way to keep your candles stationary and safe on a heat-proof surface. You might try doing that. That's why we let the wick go through the bottom so that you can light the bottom too. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so first I'm going to say thank you and goodbye to the ancestors with so much gratitude for their wisdom. Thank you and goodbye to the spirit guides. And lastly, thank you and goodbye for now to higher self. And so it is. They are there. And before I open the circle, what I like to do, because it's hard for me when I'm journeying sometimes to work with my stones and actually hold them, after I'm done is when I like to take my stones. And I like to do it in my left hand and cover them with my right hand like this. And I like to ask my guides to transfer any knowledge or wisdom from this ritual that I did not receive directly, transfer it to these stones so that they become talismans of this experience. And then for you, what that means is you need to dedicate these stones to this work, meaning you don't work with these stones for any other reason except to receive that wisdom. Does that make sense? So you can keep them by your bedside, you can create a separate medicine bag for them, but dedicate these stones to becoming transmitters for you. They will start speaking to you, and they will continue this dialogue. Stones have their own vibration and their own frequency. They're constantly in communication with you. That's why I love when people say, what do I have to do with my stones? And I'm like, hold them. Sit them on a nice flat surface near you. It's very easy to work with stones. They make it so easy. In fact, they're the easiest way into the great mystery, in my opinion. And thank you for the wisdom that will come through for me and for all of us who are gathered tonight. So good. Okay. And so, just like we opened this beautiful circle, go back to that receptive position. The energy of the circle came back to you in your right hand, do you remember? So you're going to release it from your right hand first. Gracefully, with love, letting the energy of the circle go. My hand is on fire. Woo. It'll get colder. As soon as you release the circle, the energy dissipates and your hand will get colder. And let the circle unwind, the energy unwind counterclockwise. It'll come back to you now in your left hand because it's moving in the opposite direction. And I like to turn my left hand upside down and then send the energy that we raised down into the very center of the earth. Gaia, receive this energy from us as a gift. Channel it, direct it, let it flow to those who need it. Send the energy from tonight to all the parts of the world that need it most this evening. For me, imagining sending all this beautiful energy to Puerto Rico for rebuilding efforts, all the way along the Gulf Coast of the United States. I really imagine just sending and directing this energy. If you have family who needs it, if you have friends who need it, and then also just leave an open blessing too, to those who need it that I cannot see. They won't know where the energy is coming from, but they don't need to know. They'll just feel like a warm blanket of love. So it is. Released, released, released. Okay. You feeling good in the room? Woo! Little ritual buzz. So good, yeah? Oh, you're very welcome, Norma. It's good to see you in the feed. Love, 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 love. You're welcome, Nathan. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I have one giveaway in the room, which I'm going to do after we sign off. And then I have one giveaway for online. And I'm feeling very called to gift the Naturelight online. I don't know why that is, but I'm feeling very called to do that. So Naturelight. Naturelight is a member of the Synergy 12. The Synergy 12 are thought to be the 12 most powerful minerals on the planet. They include tanzanite, tektite, moldavite, phenakite. I mean, they're all very rare and unique. Satyaloka quartz. A few of us work with them. I work with it consistently because it's for manifestation. Naturelight also heals the central nervous system. As one who has a really messed up central nervous system, I enjoy it quite a lot. And so, who is feeling called to this beautiful piece tonight? If you have fibro, if you have MS, if you have lupus, it would be particularly good for you. So I would really love to gift it to someone who has nerve damage or nerve issues. So could you let me know in the feed if that's you? Ooh, although I'm getting a quick hit off of someone's comment. Hey, Pamela Tilka. Hey, Pamela Tilka. Hi, Pamela Tilka. Hey, your mom. What's going on with your mom? Where's Pamela? Could somebody, what's Pamela Tilka's mom? So many, sweet, sweet, sweet loves. I mean, so many muscle and nerve issues in the feed, for goodness sake. I'm just sending love to all of you right now, just sending healing energy out to all of you. I'm actually going to send some Naturelight energy out to all of you right now. Okay, I'm really feeling like Pamela, who said it's for her mom, I'm feeling that is accurate. And so, Pamela, I hope you're seeing this. Sometimes I worry when they don't comment, like, did they go somewhere and pass out? I hope not. I hope you're fine. So Pamela, who said this is for her mom, I see you, and I do think it's for your mom. And so Pamela Tilka is the winner of this beautiful piece for tonight. Her mom has MS. Her mom has MS. And so do I. And so from my sweetheart to yours, Pamela, I will do a little work with this piece before I send it off to you. A little energy work with it overnight tonight. And I will send it off to you specifically designed to support and heal your mom with a lot of love and a lot of blessings. How amazing is that? The universe is a magical place, you guys. Yay for Pamela's mom. We love you, Pamela's mom. I wish I knew your name, Pamela's mom. You're not just Pamela's mom, but we love you anyway. Oh, sweet, sweet loves. Okay, all right, thank you everybody for being here. So online, just remember, and in the room too, so next month, November, we're doing our last prosperity ritual of 2017. And we are setting our intentions and our focus for prosperity for 2018. We're working with 3 new prosperity goddesses, Fortuna, Inari. It's our first time working with a Japanese Shinto goddess. I am so excited. She's powerful. And then Renanet from the Egyptian pantheon. These are different faces of prosperity. It's the first time we've ever done glass jar candles for ritual candles. They're really beautiful. And so anyway, everything is 18% off with code VEIL tonight. And if you say Moon, you get a free one of these. Even in the shop, you get free mist. This is Dragon's Blood and Vetiver. It's gorgeous. Have you smelled it? I'm going to kind of spray just a little bit so you can experience it. I'll pass it around the room too. This is one of my favorites. You want to start there? Oh, I hate to say it this way because there might be kids watching, but that's sex in a bottle. I'm sorry, but that is a sexy time. Woo, and it's unisex too. I mean, that smells as delicious on a man as it does on a woman. Okay. From my heart to yours. We have so much magic ahead. We have New Moon and Diwali ritual coming up on the 18th, I believe. 19th. Okay. In person here and online, we have the most incredible Diwali altar. Diwali, just so you know why this is important. What am I drinking? I'm drinking tea and water and wine. I've got everything on the altar right now. I still have bronchitis, so I drink more tea than anything right now. The spray is called Sanguis, which means blood in Latin. It's for the blood moon, and it is dragon's blood and vetiver. And all you have to do is say moon in your notes. You can buy something for $1. You're still going to get it as a free gift. So it's kind of a cool thing for the next 24 hours. I have other surprises for you, too. I have other giveaways for you, too. Are you ready? Okay. I'm going to confuse you for a minute, so really, because it's hard. I'm menopausal and my brain doesn't work like it used to. Hold on. Okay, I have 3 free gifts for you with any order in the next 24 hours. You ready? You have to remember these words, though. If you say moon in your notes, any purchase, you get the free mist. If you say grounding in your notes, any purchase, you get free petrified wood. And if you say spirit in your notes, any purchase, you get a free, huge, tumbled piece of amethyst. And yes, you can do all three. And yes, you can do it with every order.
What does that mean? All the things.
All the things. I'm throwing rocks at you, basically. I got petrified wood, everybody. Oh, we're so happy for you. It's really, really sweet. Oh, Pam commented tears of joy. How sweet was that? I was kind of waiting for that, Pam. I really wanted to know that you knew that your mom was getting this, and truly from my heart to hers, it's a huge blessing, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to send some sweet love to your mom, so thank you, truly. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go hang out with the kids in the room. Bye. No, I'm not leaving yet.
Just kidding.
Guardians and gatekeepers of the Northern Gateway. We thank you for your service to the Circle, and we release you this evening. Guardians and gatekeepers of the Western Gateway, thank you for connecting us to deep emotion tonight. We are so thankful for your presence. We release you from the Circle. Guardians and gatekeepers of the Southern Gateway, thank you for the courage it has taken us to be brave enough to meet these energies this evening and to be a blessing to each other. We release you from your service to the Circle. Guardians and gatekeepers of the Eastern Gateway, thank you for this new beginning and the breath of life. We thank you and we release you from your service to the Circle this evening. And so it is. Because you got to do it right. Good night, everybody.